The thing you can't let go of is gravity. The reality of gravity in writing. If someone says something really mean in a sitcom, and the next wave isn't a reaction to the reality of that, you start losing relatability. In a lot of romantic comedies, they throw out the rules of life. Thus, I draw from the absurd three consequences, which are my revolt, my freedom, and my passion. By the mere activity of consciousness, I transform into a rule of life what was an invitation to death, and I refuse suicide. I found something. Courage, just that. Courage as a rule of life and something to cling to always. For humanity has moved forward to an era when wrong and slavery are being displaced, and reason and justice are being recognized as the rule of life. Famous people feel that they must perpetually be on the crest of the wave, not realizing that it is against all the rules of life. You can't be on top all the time. It isn't natural. A man who has no assured and ever-present belief in the existence of a personal God or of a future existence with retribution and reward can have for his rule of life, as far as I can see, only to follow those impulses and instincts which are the strongest or which seem to him the best ones. He is a benefactor of mankind who contracts the great rules of life into the short sentences that may be easily impressed on the memory and so recur habitually to the mind. In southwest Lancashire, babies don't toddle, they sidestep. Queuing women talk of nipping round the blindside rugby league provides our cultural adrenaline. It's a physical manifestation of our rules of life, comradeship, honest endeavor, and a staunch, often ponderous allegiance to fair play. The gospel teaches us what Jesus' kingdom requires of us, reminds us that closeness and tenderness are the rules of life. The first rule of life is to reveal nothing, to be exceptionally cautious in what you say, in whatever company you may find yourself. If you have a secret, you have only to whisper it to your dearest friend with the strictest injunction that it will go no further. And within half a day, the story is all over town. And when you do make what would seem to be a perfectly sensible remark, you will find it reported in the most grotesque form, thus incurring no end of criticism to rebound upon you. The early Christian rules of life were not made to last because the early Christians did not believe that the world itself was going to last. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. The third rule of life is this: everything you buy today is smaller, more expensive, and not as good as it was yesterday. The third rule of life is this: everything you buy today is smaller, more expensive, and not as good as it was yesterday. Remember that the best relationship is one in which your love for each other exceeds your need for each other. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. The rule of life for a perfect person is to be in the image and likeness of God. Women are not altogether in the wrong when they refuse the rules of life prescribed to the world, for men only have established them and without their consent. It is now almost my sole rule of life to clear myself of cants and formulas as of poisonous Nessus shirts. Everything is perfect. Everything is fine. The rules of life are made up. The rules only exist in your mind. Of course, there may be courtesies and closures and laws to abide, but the zeal with which you play relies on why you draw the line. Society flourishes when and only when its molecular unit, the family. We know that lasting improvement comes only in the small increments produced by individuals adhering to the simple rules of life. 1. Show up. 2. Pay attention. 3. Tell the truth. 4. Don't be upset at the results. We must not only read the scriptures, but we must make their rules of life our own. There is one plain rule of life. Try thyself unweariedly till thou findest the highest thing thou art capable of doing. Faculties and outward circumstances being both duly considered, and then do it. As a man who knows how to make his education into a rule of life, not a means of showing off, who can control himself and obey his own principles. The true mirror of our discourse is the course of our lives. The basic rules of life would indicate that it can't last forever and will fall off of the wave and have to climb onto another, but I don't think about it too much. We just keep moving. My rule of life, prescribed as an absolutely sacred right, smoking cigars, and also the drinking of alcohol before, after, and if need be during all meals and in the intervals between them. Judge your success by what you had to give up to get it. Now come, that thou mayest able be to know that minds and the light souls of all that live have mortal birth and death. I will go on. Verses to build meet for thy rule of life, sought after long, discovered with sweet toil. The average result has to be the average result. By definition, everybody can't beat the market. As I always say, the iron rule of life is that only 20% of the people can be in the top fifth. That's just the way it is. Hold fast, then, to this sound and wholesome rule of life. Indulge the body only as far as is needful for health. Religion should be the rule of life, not a casual incident in it. If thou takest virtue for the rule of life, and valuest thyself, upon acting in all things comfortably thereto, thou wilt have no cause to envy lords and princes, for blood is inherited. But virtue is common property, and may be acquired by all. It has not what had not